Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Wait, where we talk about podcast episode 218. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911. You can drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live, so you join in the fun and conversation with us. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, any way you can help the show out, likes, shares, reviews, whatever it is. It may seem small, but it does help the channel grow, so if you take the time to do that, we would love and appreciate you for it. Today, jumping into two different topics. We're going to be talking some wrestling, we're going to be talking some games. So let's jump on into topic one, and we're going to talk about, quickly, Smackdown Live, because Lady and I were there this past Friday for the show and had a lot of fun with it. So just want to talk about that experience, what happened, all that jazz, what did we see, what went down. So, similar to Raw that we went to months ago at this point, they do dark matches. So, similar to main event tapings on Monday Night Raw before SmackDown, you get a dark match and then you get a speed match, their new X Twitter exclusive show. So we got those two, and then we got also two dark matches at the end. So they kind of try and, I guess, make up for what, in comparison to Monday Night Raw, you're getting with the 3-hour live program and then the early stuff. So they did that for us. So first dark match that we opened up with was Tegan Knox taking on Tiffany Stratton. Fine match here. Nothing super. Didn't get to see the prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffany just won with a roll-up, which was a little sad and unfortunate, but it was fine. It is what it is. I don't know if Tegan's drafted to SmackDown. Maybe they'll be setting this up as they typically try and do with just those dark matches, kind of have people work together so they can build that chemistry together. And so when they do bring the shows, or not the shows, sorry, bring the rivalries to the shows or pay-per-views, they at least have some time working together, and then they're used to it. I'm going to go to the tease. Yes, Tegan's officially on SmackDown. So potential there, maybe a story that will be unfolding. Obviously, Tiffany was in the title picture lately. I don't know if they'll continue that going forward. Maybe this will just be a little bit of a small feud before she bounces back into that, and then we can give Tegan something here, as her and Natalia's tag team thing seems to have ended. I know Natalia's doing some work in NXT. And she's over on Monday Night Raw, I believe, still. So maybe we can get her some momentum. So that was our dark match. Then we got into our speed match, which I thought, oh, this is going to be pretty cool. We'll get to see, that cruiserweight style. We'll get to see some high-flying stuff. No, not exactly. We got to see Andrade take on Carl Anderson. Cool to see Carl Anderson, I guess, doing something. I say I guess, because it was a very quick match. 30 seconds. That was it. I kind of don't even know what happened. I know he did his running knees. I think he hit him with the shadow thing that Andrade does, his finisher, and that was it. So, yeah, it was the blink and you'll miss it. Nothing special there. But this would not be the last time we saw Andrade for the night. So then we got to officially the show for SmackDown. We started with Nia's coronation. Just a lot of chatter here. Bayley did come out as Nia called her out, and then Piper and Chelsea Green attacked. Seems like Piper's getting a shot at Clash of the Castle, which I believe is in a few weeks. Probably just another easy program for Bayley. Actually, she didn't defend on the last one, so this will be her first one. No, she defended against Naomi, but that was just SmackDown itself. So first pay-per-view defense for Bayley since winning it, to my recollection. But at least Piper will get to perform in front of her home country, so that's kind of cool. Glad they're still using these two, and it's not just in the jobber-esque role. We're kind of giving them a little bit more, so that's nice. Nia, we'd see later on, trash talking with Mia Yim. Curious where to see where this crown thing goes. Obviously, she has the title shot in SummerSlam, but now it's just a matter of getting to that point, because we still got 2 months, to get to that point before then. So we'll have to see how she keeps busy, I guess. Then we got Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory. Another fine one. I will say this about SmackDown in its entirety. the live show part wasn't really super exciting. I mean, we had a great time with it. We had fun with it, just the live atmosphere and everything. But none of the matches really stood out. I don't know if it was just the week of after King and Queen of the Ring, that kind of first pay-per-view show after, where they're obviously doing all the building blocks to those next stories. Nothing seems super exciting. And this was one of those matches, too, where it was fine. Crowd was very split on this. We had some guys in front of us, more like one gentleman who the whole night was just trying to get these very interesting chants going. But he was he was a big fan of A-Town Down, so we tried that. I guess on commentary, Grayson kind of brought more of a friction between him and Theory, so I don't know if that's kind of hinting at they'll break up. I know we had elements of that before Mania, and then they seemed fine since winning the titles. Whatever. But Tommaso would get the win here through a roll-up, so cool to see DIY. Always a good time there. And then, guess who came back? It was Andrade against Apollo Crews. Another one. Hey, surprised Apollo was around. I know Apollo got drafted to Raw last year, and they did nothing with him. Seems like we'll be doing, at least for now, a little bit with Apollo, so trying to get the momentum behind him there. I guess there was some story that was going on prior to SmackDown where Angel Garza was trying to recruit Andrade into Legado del Fantasma, which is weird because they got beef in history. So Angel did come out. I thought it was just to continue this storyline since Andrade's on his own now with LWO on the other side with Raw. But we'll see. Santos didn't seem too happy that Andrade didn't accept the deal. Andrade did pick up the win here after I think Angel got involved. But Cruz did attack Angel in the back later, so there's the continuation with him. We'll see if we have some build there. And then we got a Paul Heyman and Kevin Owens promo. Crowd really behind both of them. Strong We Want Roman chants. Now this is where we gotta break a little bit of the show elements. So Lady and I had decent seats. We weren't floor, but we're like just above floor, so it's kind of like our go-to spot just because it's obviously super close, but you're a little elevated above those chairs, so you still have a decent view where you can see above everybody's head in those floor seats, which is kind of nice. But we noticed that there's one, I guess he's like their event coordinator or some kind of security rep for WWE himself or themselves. But he was walking around, and then he just starts clearing out, like telling the security guards of the local arena, like, hey, we got to clear this. We got to make this path clear. So we're like, it's right next to us, and we're looking over like, who's running out? What's going on? Now, I know Jacob Fatu's been rumored for a while. I was like, no, I was excited, but I was trying to talk myself down. Like, no, there's no way they're going to debut him here just in random town, USA. They're going to keep that for, the pay-per-views, make a little bit bigger impact there. So Bloodline did come out. Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga, and Solo. Street Profits showed up to back up Kevin Owens. They got in a little bit of a brawl, and then Owens and Solo went the other way, went to the backstage brawl. I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that flow of direction. I was thinking more the other way, but so that was a little like I said, just kind of broke the, what do you call it? Suspension of disbelief, just seeing all that happen. I get why they have to do it, obviously, for safety of the performers and the people there. It was just like, oh, yeah, something's going on. But then we got Bloodline and Profits, another just okay one. I haven't seen God wrestle ever in like New Japan or anything like that, so they're new to me. Obviously, Tonga Loa with the Camacho history, I've seen him wrestle, and back in the day it wasn't anything amazing, like it was fine. And this seemed like similar to where it was just okay. I know God did a lot of stuff in New Japan or had a lot of success there, so I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. I don't know if it's just getting comfortable in the system or with new people. Could be. But this one was just okay. I think Tama Tonga took most of the match. Tonga Loa wasn't in there all that much. But Street Profits did a great job. They had the crowd behind them pretty heavily as they did some fun stuff during the commercial. Saw big dives. or a big dive from Angelo Dawkins, and then the frog splash from Montez. I believe Bloodline did get the win here after Tama hit his finisher after a surprise tag, just as a flatliner. I don't know if he's got a finisher name, but yeah, there was that. We kept on with the tag team action. Chelsea Green Piper went off after Bayley and Naomi. A little weird of a storyline here that Naomi didn't come out to help earlier, but yeah. Another fine one. Naomi getting disrespected yet again, not getting her own entrance. Weird. But surprisingly, the bad guys won this. I think Green got hit with a finisher, and then Piper came out and splashed onto Bayley and her, and then Green got the pin. I believe it was Bayley. But bad guys win here, so at least they have some momentum going forward. We can keep that going. Nice. We also did get some other backstage stuff. I already talked about Apollo hitting Angel and attacking him. We did get to see LA Knight, unfortunately only in the back, as he had a chat with Aldis and then Carmelo Hayes, where Carmelo Hayes had a little bit of a botch, but that's okay. Other than that, I don't think there was anything. And then our main event, which wasn't really our main event, but AJ Styles' retirement. Or was it? Nice. So yeah, AJ, obviously there's a lot of rumors swirling around is he going to hang it up because he's getting up there in age and hasn't done a whole lot. Me being they got the TNA partnership now. Jordan Grayson showing up is he going to go there? Nope. He pulled a Mark Henry on us to the whole fake retirement speech. Had Gallows and Anderson out there with him, but then ended up attacking Cody Rhodes in the end. I don't know if OC are with him, if they're bad, because he attacked Cody, and I think they kind of magic poofed out of there. They didn't really participate, so I don't know if this is just keeping up with what's been going on, I guess, at least main roster-wise, where AJ's heel, and then the rest of the club, including Mia Yim, are good guys. But then there's the NXT side of things, where Gallows and Anderson are going after the NXT tag titles against Axiom and Nathan Frazier, where I think they're bad guys, or they're just pulling a veteran, we're better than you because we've been wrestling for however long type shtick. But yeah, they didn't beat up or help assist beat up on Cody to my knowledge. Maybe they held security back. I really don't know, and that's bad because that was only 2 days ago. But yeah, AJ ended up attacking Cody just to jump to the line, get Cody pissed off, want to fight him again. So we'll probably get a run back at potentially Clash, or I would hope they wouldn't push it too far. But I know we're in this weird string of pay-per-view schedule as well. So obviously we just had King of the Ring. We got NXT on the 9th. They wouldn't do it there, obviously. Clash of the Castle, I believe, is the next one. But then soon after is Money in the Bank, which is... that's the last Money in the Bank. When the fuck? Hold on. Let's go to tickets. Maybe that'll help me better. Let's see. Clash of the Castle is June 15th. And then Money in the Bank is July 6th. So yeah, I don't know if they hold it off till then. Yeah, and then you got more of a gap with SummerSlam on the 3rd of August. So we'll see if they'll stretch it out 4 weeks or if they'll put it on Clash. I presume Drew and Damian would be last in main event, so Cody, AJ not being main. Not that that's the end of the world if they're not, but we shall see. So after the main show, like I said, we did get 2 more dark matches. We got Sheamus against Ludwig Kaiser. And yeah, I was going to... Lady and I talked about it afterwards. I think this was our... Well, not this specific match, but the dark matches post-show, the live show, were probably the most fun of the night. Sheamus and Ludwig didn't do anything special as well, but they were smacking the crap out of each other. And Sheamus had some fun with the crowd later on. He did pick up the win after hitting a brogue kick. But then the main event, the dark super whatever match, that was the best one ever. So you had main event Jey Uso against Drew McIntyre. Everybody having a great time with Jey and his entrance. And then Drew came out, and it was goofy. He's teasing taking off his kilt, and then he did a little promo, and then we had a sexy Drew chant. Jey kept doing the yeet with the crowd, going from one side to the other. He got the ref to do it. He tried to get Drew to do it, and we did the whole, and then Drew obviously clotheslined him, and then we started the actual match, but we had a lot of fun with it. Drew was just having the time of his life out there, just being just a goofball. How did this end? The only thing that was bad was the finish of the match. It was a DQ. Drew kind of lifted up his leg as Jay was behind him, hit him low blow. Bell rang. Jay technically won. Then I believe Drew was going to try and attack him with a Claymore. Uso caught him with a super kick and then hit him with a spear, so crowd went home happy. Jay's son was there in the crowd, so got to leave with him towards the end. But yeah, it was a fun night overall. Crowd pretty good throughout. I think, in terms of volume, pretty good throughout. I think from what I heard on What Culture, I think it's WrestleTix is what they use. I don't remember. But it was like 7,000 so in the crowd. So obviously not the sellouts that they've been doing with the 14,000 or so. But decent enough. Albany itself started off good. Some people got a little rowdy at the end. I can't tell you how many beers were spilled on that floor. That poor woman who was going.
She was working the hardest of anybody.
She was. Going around with a bucket, just cleaning constantly. Felt so bad for her. I got a kick out of it, but so when day of, I decided to look just for fun, just to see what other tickets were available, right? So apparently those back rows of floor just close to our side where we had our seats, those were empty. And I was like, oh, shit. And they weren't super expensive, at least in terms of, like, obviously the floor and being last minute, they want to get rid of them. But those did fill up. But there was this family 2 rows in, and then the back row closest to us, there was, like, some, I'd say, college students, and then, like, these 2 dudes, older gentlemen, probably 30s, 40s. One guy's, like, super yoked, just sitting there. And the family in front of him, it was a dad and his 2 kids. And there's this young son there. He's got a Main Event Jey Uso hat. And half of the show, he's just turned around talking to this Jack dude. Like, yeah, I could do this, I could do that, I could be the next Sheamus. Just because he happened to be ginger. And then Sheamus is out there wrestling. He's not even watching. He's just talking to the dude. And the dude's like, yeah, like trying to watch the show. I was like, kid, what are you doing? It's right there. So just some entertaining stuff there with the crowd. Apparently some people behind us got yelled at about having a flag. I don't know if it was just because it was a full-sized flag and it was really obstructing views or whatever. I haven't seen any footage where it was like out and about. But that was weird. We had that same event coordinator or security guy talk to him, being like, hey, if you don't get rid of that, we're going to ask you to leave. I was like, oh, okay, heads up. Excuse me. We're good. All right. So we had that. Yeah, it's a fun show overall. Had a good time. Okay. I will tell you one more fun thing. So yeah, Jey Uso was the last match with Drew. So obviously everybody's, doing the whole yeet bounce thing. So we're sitting in the parking garage and we're waiting to leave. And we're just seeing these cars, pass us slowly or whatever. And there was this one, I don't know, SUV, and they had their windows down. I just see the kids in the back like doing this. So I just started doing it with them, and they popped and laughed. I just thought that was fun and cute. Yeah, the mom was like, oh yeah. So, just silly stuff. It's really fun just having all those people come together and obviously just enjoy the show and be involved in it and into it. And that's the point of going to the wrestling shows live, is just more the atmosphere. Obviously what goes on to the ring is entertaining and an important aspect of it too, but it's just that crowd environment, having that common fandom, and then hearing everybody's different opinions of like, oh, DIY sucks, why you look like DX, and this and that and the other thing. It's like, oh, all right, people like this person, they don't like this person, whatever it is. But it was a blast. Looking forward to the next one, which I have no idea when it is. I know Lady and I were joking about after the show, like enjoying the dark matches after. Like, yeah, that's more of a live event and a house show. Like, oh, well, where are those? I know they had some close this weekend. Well, close, relatively. A couple hours drive. But maybe that'll be something we look for down the road instead of the live program. But I think it will be a while before they're back here. I know TNA was here a few months ago, and then AEW I don't think has made the rounds back here in a while. But just in general, wrestling's fun, and the shows to go to. So yeah, had a good time.